Ex-addicts are some of the most highly successful people. I was paying to go hide in a facility.
There was no alcohol, no cocaine, no other drugs, but yet there was a sugar.
What, are we supposed to get diabetes out of this? I'm not attacking the problems head on. We're just finding something else for a substitute, and it just causes other issues. Were we the most trustworthy people, though?
I built the bunker around me so people cannot screw me, but at the same time, when I build it, all the pain stayed there.
Dude, if I can sit under a bridge and beg for money for cocaine,
You think you fall into it because you didn't have a purpose?
we don't have to kill off the addictive personality. Let's just harness new habits.
It's a lot easier to figure out who you truly are when you're sober.
The second I was by myself, it was like I couldn't resist grabbing my phone to figure out who was out doing something.
The fear of missing out, you're missing out on yourself. The biggest wreck right now is isolation.
That's what I was missing. I was missing the community. I was missing the life planning. I was missing mentorship.
If I didn't have my brotherhood, brother, I would not be here.
The person that's doing the damage usually doesn't notice. I've already been divorced. I have a kid that I don't see anymore. 2 kids that got aborted, had my car totaled, I got evicted, and I lost my job in the same week.
Welcome to the Mastering the Inner World and Outer World podcast. Today I have a guest. I have a Zack Straughn. I'm screwed up your last name, brother. I'm sorry. I love you.
Straughn, it's all good.
And today, guys, I think you're gonna love it because we're gonna share our journey. Actually, crazy journey from drinking, going through all the process like everybody else went through the stages. Now he is like a fitness coach, sales coach, and he's just kind of trying to help everybody. You think men only or
No, definitely anybody, because I've just gone through so many struggles and just so many paths of life, like already in my 10 years of addiction. And I'm big on, like, I don't want to count anybody out. You know what I mean? If we get together and there's a way for me to help you, whether that's me directly or any resources that I have, or connections that I've made this year, then I'm willing to do so. I'm not counting anybody out. No age groups,
Good.
Male,
So
female,
remember, not the made up shit. We went through it, went through the tops and bottoms, hit the bottom. We thought it's the bottom of the bottom, and there was another bottom. And we're sharing the journey, and hopefully you can relate to it. And we're gonna talk about step by step also to recovery and figure out what works, what doesn't. And for me, and we talked before the podcast because it took me like so many times, I quit drinking and I went back, I quit drinking and I went back. And then you said something interesting in my kitchen that we don't teach or we don't talk about enough when you're changing your lifestyle to substitute the new routines, new habits. Can you talk about it a little bit more?
Yeah, so that's the exact reason that I started the Straughnzyy point, right? So to me, it's the tipping point of small changes or events that eventually lead to much larger, massive ones, right? So just to dive into like my personal experience, there was multiple times like yourself, I tried to get sober, I bounced back. But even when I took like very serious approaches like to traditional recovery, like let's say rehabs meetings, AA meetings, all that kind of stuff, they just weren't working for me. So
yeah, because you were talking to me you were like regarding the recovery and the programs, you didn't like it. There's some people that swear by it, the AA.
Yeah.
And to you it was like, nope, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in, that so this is something that I've like used as a foundation for my business as well. Is I'm a believer that there is something that works for everybody. Like just like what I'm trying to do might not work for everybody. And eventually, I want you guys to get there regardless, whether that's through me or somebody else. Like there's plenty of people that run really, really good rehab facilities that have a high success rate. But it's just personally for me, unfortunately, the ones I was going to, as you know, so fitness is a big piece of me, right? And when I was there, that was my outlet. I was basically screaming for help. Is there anything I can do for the gym? Is there anything when I was inside of there? And they're like, there's something upstairs. You go upstairs, it's basically a shoebox with a treadmill in it. They're not investing the time into like, can we have all the resources available for, let's find somebody's outlet. The reason it didn't work for me is it really felt like it was a money grab, and it was set up for me to, when I got out, to basically go fail, because I was basically hiding from reality. I wasn't attacking my problems head on. I wasn't solving anything. Exactly. I was paying to go hide in a facility where even something as small as, when you kick alcohol, right? And they provided us with a crap ton of candy because you have all the sugar cravings, right? But to me, it's like, okay, so we're just substituting one problem with another, because now you're just, what are we supposed to get diabetes out of this? Like, And it's like, we're not attacking the problems head on. But
it's funny you said that. It's when I quit, right? When I quit, truly, I I went crazy with dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Like I eat like two, not like the whole two dark chocolates.
Yeah.
And I ate any pastry I can put. Like I would not eat regular dinner. I would eat like 10 almond croissants.
It's through the roof. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what happened is I was missing something. So the sugar, it was like the sugar was giving me the substitute.
Yeah, you're essentially just substituting it.
And I rather way. I mean, I was bloated all the time, and I'm in shape. So I work out a lot, but I felt like shit. And it was like in my head. I'm not.
Yeah.
In my head, it was like, but at least I'm not drinking.
Exactly. That's.
And then after like a year and a half, I was like, fuck, I can't do this anymore because like I go to the doctors, like why I'm bloated, why I don't feel good. I thought it's just depression, like all the other issues. But what happened, it was the sugar. So there was no alcohol, no cocaine, no other drugs, but yet there was a sugar. When I quit sugar, brother, fuck, different human.
Yeah, exactly.
Different human.
And I mean, just think about think about how many people probably get out of rehab and they have the sugar cravings, right? And let's say that they do kick the drinking habit, but now what? They have a food addiction, and now they're eating all this candy, and then they get overweight, and then now they're not living a healthy lifestyle. Their habits are terrible, and that's essentially exactly what I'm talking about. Is we're not attacking the problems head on. We're just finding something else for a substitute, and it just causes other issues.
But isn't it like we have to like on the beginning to kind of like get the distraction or
So I would say yes, like it is good. Like, so there are some aspects, right? Like one of the, I guess you would say targets that they try to do is let's physically abstain them from, alcohol. Let's make it to where they can't touch it. Yes. But I think you should start instilling habits. If that's what you want to do is like, hey, come to this facility and let's do this. But I think, we should do group activities, let's go for a walk. Let's learn. Maybe they should even bring a trainer in and be like, hey, let's teach these people how to work out. The chef should be cooking up very like healthy meals. Let's get them to where we're around these kind of things because now's the time. That might resonate with people. Because I think redefining the habits is ultimately what's going to change everything. And that's like the first step in what I do is we're using fitness as a foundation because.
But even fitness, right, Zach? Mm-hmm. That's substituting.
Correct. Yes. I mean, I could say that in a way. Yeah.
Because then suddenly you like again from sugar. And then one again back to Iron Man, and it's and I was again escaping reality.
Yeah, we have addictive personalities though, right? That's something that's instilled in us, and it's like
that's what we're sitting here, brother.
We might as well,
dude. If you're listening and you're still listening, I can guarantee you an addict too. Yeah. But I always say, knowing that you have addictive personality.
Yeah,
take it for the good. Don't take it for the evil.
Yeah,
take it for the good.
Being self-aware is a superpower.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so not being able to, being afraid to admit, like, there's nothing wrong with an addictive personality if you're using it for good, right? And so that's what I'm trying to do is just funnel it into good. Let's funnel things here to where, let's use it to our advantage because addicts are some of the, ex-addicts are some of the most highly successful people. We have all the traits of like, they can go all in on something and take it to the extreme, but let's use it on a good thing. Let's put it somewhere where it's actually like valuable. And let's sow that into others. Let's get back to society. Let's use it for good instead of just self-destruction, essentially. But I think the habits are what's really important. I think building the habits, building the routine, because me personally, I can't trust somebody if they can't control what even they put in their own body. Like if you can't, put the spoon down, it's like, how do I trust you in business? How do I trust you in anything?
But we were there.
Yeah, I know, but that's
and people trust us. Like.
Were we the most trustworthy people, though?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell no. If you don't trust yourself, you cannot trust anybody. Then you think everybody's screwing you over. It was hard. For me, what happened is I did my business on my own. Mm-hmm. And I built the bunker around me so people cannot screw me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, when I build it, all the pain stay there. All the pain.
It's just emptiness. Yeah. You can be, in a room full of 100 friends and you feel more alone than if you have just, 3 solid people around you. Mm-hmm. That's one of the biggest realizations. And
we need a connection.
Yeah, we do. I mean, human nature is we want connection. Yeah. Real, authentic connection. Not, hey, we bond over drinking. The next day, I don't remember what you said, but I'm pretty sure we had a good time. Let's do it again. Which is essentially a lot of times what all that is, those friendships.
I'm not shitting you. I was in Poland 3 weeks ago. For the last 3 weeks, not 3 weeks ago, for the last 3 weeks. And we had this, I speak on the stages, and there's like my friend goes like, "Hey, there's a big conference," and it's like, "Hey, I'm gonna let them know they don't know who you are," and we truly went there so I can. When I'm in Warsaw, I cannot get shit done because I don't have appointment after appointment. Everybody want to make sure that do something, the TVs and all this stuff. Let me tell you that you're here, so maybe you give him a stage, like talk for like half an hour, 45 minutes. The guy recognized me immediately. Like the guy, holy shit, he's here, yeah. And it's like, but tell your friend, like because he wasn't to me. Tell your friend if he's still open to talk on the stage in like 2 hours. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because in 2 hours, it's going to be 11 a.m. Everybody, it was a construction, like construction company. Everybody going to be shit-faced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is exactly what happened. By 7 o'clock, by the time the dinner, those guys were like completely like out of it. I'm like, I'm not, this is, like they have like a performance, the dancer, they were not even able to like dance or anything like that. So it's truly what people, when you surround yourself, that's who you're going to find.
Proximity is power is the greatest thing that I've learned this year.
And I better have 3 guys than 100, or nobody. But how do you find those 3 guys?
Yeah.
So let's say you have those 3 guys. I'm just being just devil advocate right now. And then you quit drinking. Then what?
So, I mean, essentially we're kind of diving into, that's the second part of what I do. So I'm trying to rebuild habits, right? To me, that's where I'm trying to put all the pillars there, and I'm trying to make it, as hard as possible for you to fail with us. So the second step would be community. So I've partnered with people, the Recovery Vow Collective, which is a big sober community, as well as I also have connections to Kat Sorensen, who has an online community as well with over 1,000 members. So let's just dive into one at a time, for instance, right? So the Recovery Vow Collective, let's say when you're on there's workshops, there's live Q&As, there's all kinds of communities. You can interact with people that you've seen on the podcast. They'll come on, you can talk to them, pick their brain. But essentially you're building a community enough to where, let's say, somebody wants to work with me and they're in Chicago. Odds are you're going to find somebody in Chicago. So I want to be able to connect with people, because the sober community, what I found are some of the most giving, they've been through it. They know. They're like, hey, come into the circle. Like, let's go. It's all love. It's all genuine love. We want to help you. How can we figure this out? They're very, very accepting. The nicest people. Like the event I was just at in Augusta this last weekend, it's crazy. I didn't think people existed like this. Like, it was actually incredible to see. I won't lie. I cried at times with the presentation. It just felt like a blessing to be there, because, we all know how empty and how terrible it feels when you're addicted. All of the negatives. And it's like, that's the whole point of why I found my purpose in wanting to help, is because I don't want anybody to ever feel like that. I mean, that's the worst. I wouldn't even wish that I'm a worst enemy. Some of those darkest moments that we have.
But Zach, you think you fell into it because you didn't have a purpose?
Fell into what?
For like the addictions and all this stuff? Because for me, I fell into it because I have no purpose.
Yeah, I had no idea what my purpose was. I mean, even dating back to like when I was going to college, I mean, I guess I was just going to be a finance major. That's what everybody did, right? Just go to school here. All right, it's cool. I don't know, go to this school, join a fraternity. That's what the cool people do, right? You kind of lose sense of your identity. You don't have that purpose. And so it's like, that's the hardest thing, is like some people, especially like addiction, like when I got out of mine or like started my sobriety journey, I didn't even know what foods I like to eat. I didn't know what my favorite color was, really. I mean, I was second guessing everything. I was like, what do I even like to do for fun? I don't remember, because it had been so long, and all I could think about was just going to the bar, doing cocaine, doing all these things, and like, women, whatever it was, I was so deep in it, and it's like, whatever the crowds want to do, okay, how do I fit in? And, and then especially the worst part is, let's say your personality is amplified. You're more social, right? Whenever you're drunk. And then people start to like that version of you. Well, then when you're sober, you're not that version. So you're almost playing a character, right? In like a video game or a movie. So and you're like, that's the one everybody loves.
Identity crisis.
Yeah.
Because you got to figure out who the fuck you are. And it's a lot easier, if anybody's listening to this right now, it's a lot easier to figure out who you truly are when you're sober.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're not going to find who you are when you're drinking and partying and all this stuff.
Exactly. It's just, because even when you are like, there's a lot of people, let's say they're like, even like a walk in the park, right? I just want to go see nature. There's so many people. I mean, even like myself, well, this would be more fun if I was fucked up. But then you're not actually connecting. You're you're not present is the problem. You're not there. So it's
Say
hard
to-
to find if it's
You're not
something you
connecting,
actually,
you're not present, you're
Yeah.
not love. Yeah.
like, there's nothing to it. There's all the substance is gone. I mean, it's crazy how clear in the head I am now. How many things I notice about just people, the way they move. I can soak in, like, dude, I can go outside now, the sun's up, and all of a sudden I'm in a great mood. Like, you're just appreciating like life. Whereas like I couldn't do that when I was addicted. I couldn't, the smallest things, I had to have the fuel, which was the alcohol, the drugs, and the attention. And it's like I couldn't take, I couldn't go look at water. I couldn't go look at palm trees. I couldn't go look at very
Because
simple
it was
things.
a freaking waste of time.
Yeah. Like,
Seriously.
yeah.
It was a waste of time. Like when I travel, I would like shit, the airport, what time they open bars, which bar is open. Like I would know around my house. I will know when everything opens. Seriously.
And that's, I mean, that also, it's crazy how resourceful, or like, addicts, when they want to get something done and they want to figure something out, like how good they are at it. Whether that's begging for money for drugs, they'll figure out a way to get. That's why I'm saying harness it for good. Like those qualities aren't necessarily a bad thing if you're using them for good. Yeah. And that's why I feel like a lot of people turn into very successful business owners and things like that, because they know, Eric, he just got, 2 days ago was his 15 year, right? And, we were doing a donor lunch and all this stuff for his event. And I asked him, I was like, damn, do you ever feel like uncomfortable, or is it like hard to, ask for donations, right? Because it's a nonprofit. He's like, dude, if I can sit under a bridge and beg for money for cocaine, you'd think like, you know what I mean? I'm doing something good now. Like, because it's like that should be the hard part, but that was so easy, right? Because it's like your mind is so consumed with, how do I get these drugs? How do I get these drugs? You don't even think about what moral lines you're crossing, what friendships you're possibly breaking. You don't think about any of that because you're so laser focused on it. So that's why I'm like, let's use that for good. We don't have to kill off the addictive personality. Let's just harness new habits. Let's put it to good use, because you can do incredible things with those habits.
Give me a blueprint.
Yeah,
Give me the blueprint.
Seriously, yeah.
No, go through it. Like, tell me what your blueprint, what you like, the formula that works for you.
Yeah, so the formula that works for me, originally when I was getting back into the gym, when I was building those habits, it was an original passion for bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. That was really what it was. I've always, over the years, watched bodybuilders. I've been fascinated by their habits, but I just couldn't do it myself because of my addiction had such a hold on me. So once I decided, I'm going to get sober, I was like, well, I need to learn these habits. Where do I learn? I'm going to hire a coach, right? I had already had a bunch of my own extensive knowledge, but again, you have an identity crisis, so you start second guessing everything, right? So I'm like, who am I to teach myself? Even though I've got all the knowledge, like I've spent years and years and years while I was addicted trying. That was like almost me asking for help. Was like looking at all these, bodybuilders, YouTube videos, whatever it is, research articles, trying to, because I was like, damn, I really want to do this, but the addiction was too strong. But
so you have knowledge. What he's saying, he had knowledge, but there was no emotional intelligence, emotional fitness to use the knowledge. Yeah. Because a lot of people, they read and do all the stuff, but they don't use it. Mm-hmm. And now suddenly when you got sober, it's like, holy shit.
It's
now
the clarity.
Let me go and use it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're clear and you're like, oh, wow, I can apply this now. So I even took a step to where I was like, you know what, my environment's really going to matter here. I've always been pretty self-aware. I'll say that. Except with addiction. And then once I got self-aware on how bad I had a victim mindset, that's when like a lot of stuff changed, because I was like, okay.
My last question, we're going to go back to just, I don't want to lose it. How long because you say you were self-aware. How long you were fighting to quit? How many years?
I would say out of the 10 that I classify as addiction, I mean, I would say probably 7 of them I was fighting. And the thing is you right? Remember so many things after the fact. It's like I wasn't even identifying that I was screaming for help, but now you look back because you're clear. I wake up, I swear, more clear in the head every day. And I remember things like so clearly where I'm like, oh my God, I was screaming for help then and I didn't even realize. It's like you subconsciously want help. Like nobody likes living like that.
7 years, guys. 7 years. There's a shortcut. You don't have to suffer that long.
Yeah.
But I think when I go back to like when there was the first voices, I was like, shit, I'm like hangover. I don't like to, I don't like how I feel. Like it just took, but I'm good. Everything else I was looking like, but everything else is good, so I'm good. Mm-hmm. But it always bothered me. It was like deep in my subconscious. It was like, there's something, you know what I mean? But it didn't bother me hard enough to change it.
Yeah.
Until I got a fucking wake up call of the wake up calls.
Yeah.
You know?
I always like to relate it to how you feel as a kid when life is so like pure, you're innocent, you think you can do anything in the world. Like say when you're about to go to college, you have that mindset of like, you're like, wow, anything is possible. I felt like that's what was missing. And that's why like, you know, as a kid, I can go outside and just kick a soccer ball around and have so much fun with it. I was present. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what I was feeling was missing. And it was like, I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't think on a larger scale. Like personally, it's like, yeah, I was making like good money at the time, like technically, but I mean, it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't, you know, and then the older I even got, I was like, I mean, dude, I'm pushing my late 20s at this point, and I'm watching, you know, people around me have kids. It's like subconsciously you're soaking in everybody else. So when, you know, when they're sober or they're doing big things, you're soaking it in, and it's like you're just trying to hide from it. You're like, okay, but if I, so like mine was like, I lived right across the street from the bar I worked at. I bartended for 5 years. So if I just go from there to the bar where everybody loves me every day, I wasn't realizing how small my world was. I was never traveling. I was never seeing anything new. I wasn't being challenged. I was just stepping into a place where I was the idol every day for years. And it was like so hard. That's why I say the environment is so powerful, because I almost forgot that there was a world. That was my world.
The bubble was so
yeah, it was so bubbled. And it was across the street. That's what's crazy. I mean, my car... I maybe spent money on gas every, I don't know, like once every 3 months, because all I did was just drive across the street and back, because I was like addicted to like how much attention and like just all this fake, well, it's fake attention really, or just like fake confidence. It was fake, but like, because I needed the alcohol, I needed the Coke to feel that confidence. Because the second that I was sober, I started feeling how it was like, not that I felt awkward, but the conversation wasn't flowing as well. You know what I mean? I wasn't that same guy. I was like, all right, I got to start drinking. Like I got to, you know what I mean? I got to snap back into this. They're not going to like me. They're not going to like me. And so, I mean, it just was around the clock, but.
Okay. Because I went through the same process, and to me it was because like I was stopped drinking for like, let's say 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. And suddenly like everybody disconnected from me. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was drinking, it just, my door was open. Yeah. And people were coming in without even, you know, announcing. It's like, oh, wait, you know, I'm here. Okay, come on, let's get a beer. And it's like, suddenly it's like, oh, yeah, he's not drinking. And like 3 weeks later, let's say I'm preparing for race. 2-3 weeks later, suddenly like nobody calling, nobody's texting, nobody's coming, you know, which didn't bother, but it bothered me. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you know what? I got to prepare for the race. Yeah. So when I was stop drinking, I was first substituting with training for Ironman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and it's like when you train for Ironman, unfortunately, there's no way you can drink.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, unless I mean you can drink, but not the way I was drinking. Mm-hmm. Because if I went like, you know what I mean? If I knew I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like you don't even want to reach for the beer. Mm-hmm. So I knew if I have 2-3 beers, it's over, then I'm going in. Mm-hmm. So it's like, and then having 1 beer, I was like, it doesn't make any sense, you know? And then also, when I stopped drinking, I was like embarrassed going to the bar, ordering like, want to watch a game or something. I was embarrassed to order club soda. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just did that yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was watching some football games. Right. Yeah, and I was ordering club soda, but that's why like
not anymore, just so you know.
Yeah,
but it's
but oh yeah, no. At first it was well, I mean, I was nervous. I was like almost having the imposter. Like, damn, do I have a hold on this? Like I thought. And you know, if you don't want to go, don't go. Like if that's what works for you, like, hey, I just don't want to be in that environment. Then like, yeah, 100%. I just felt confident enough. I was like, where everything's going and my new habits and everything has been so successful for me that like, there's no way I would screw it up. Even there could be 10 people all around me sitting there with something in my face saying, do it, do it, do it. I'm not going to do it.
I got a question for you because like for me, when I said like every time I was doing the breaks until I did the final break, when people tell me, well, I do a drink, oh yeah, come on, have a one. Like this was motivating me not to drink. When people stop like forcing me, it's like, oh, the motherfucker, why are you not telling me to drink? Like, oh, I want a fucking beer. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's like, it was giving me significance. Mm-hmm. When everybody's drinking, everybody's telling me, well, yeah, come on, at least, come on, have a 1 beer. What's wrong? Are you sick? that was giving me the kick.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't. But the second I was like, nobody was like cheering me to drink, I'm like, okay, nobody. So now I have a permission to drink. And then again, going back and back and back. And for me, I want to say, I don't want to 7 years, but it was years until like it was bothering me. And then I even like, first I was like, yeah, I'm the weekend alcoholic. But the problem is the weekend become Friday, Saturday, then Sunday.
And then it starts Thursday. And then, maybe
And
you
then
got a half day at work.
and then Wednesday, and then suddenly have Monday night football. So I finish on Monday. So on Tuesday I was hangover. So on Tuesday I survived Tuesday while I'm not drinking again. But on Wednesday, I feel better. Let's.
But then also by that point, it's like you found every bar special and where the big crowds are all within a 50-mile radius. It's like you know where to go. Like so it's like and that's another thing is like you feel like you have this fear of missing out. And I promise you, it's the same. You could leave whatever environment it is you go to that often, like in the bar scene. You could leave it for a year, come back. It's the exact same people. It's the exact same conversation. It's the exact same. You're stepping back into the exact same day over and over and over. It's a terrible loop.
I want to say the fear of missing out is truly what you're missing out. That you're missing. If you're listening to this and you're still listening, it's truly the fear of missing out. You're missing out on yourself.
Yeah.
I wish I could take my life back, but I can't. I'm building from now on.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wish everybody journey. There's no judging. Like, I don't judge people. You want to drink, drink. You don't want to drink, don't drink.
Yeah.
You want to do drugs, do drugs. But like, again, I keep talking, Zach, I was also sedating with work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was sedating with workouts. And you said it, I was always escaping reality.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to deal with the little chaotic, with the wound, not enoughness. You're stupid, you're ugly, you got lucky. You know what I mean? So let's fucking
That used to be my biggest trigger was when I was alone. That used to be my biggest triggers. The second I was by myself, it was like I couldn't resist grabbing my phone to figure out who was out doing something. Because I felt like it was my brain that would start turning. But it's because, you're spending your whole life being that's not you. Like, you're not yourself. You have this fake confidence. You have this fake personality that comes to light whenever you're on drugs and alcohol. But then when you're not that person, you're sitting there and your brain's telling you, like, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're not enough, like, and all that stuff, because it's like...
That's why I wrote a book, Not Enoughness.
There you go. Yeah.
Dude, not enough.
And
not enough. It doesn't matter. What the fuck? It's not enough.
And, but like you were saying, when you were like, when they were egging you on, that's when, you'd be like, oh, no. That's a mindset shift that I took, is trying to find pride in saying no versus like, you know what, I'm doing the right thing by saying no versus, all the people that are saying yes. Because I feel like if you can get through that initial like 2 or 3 hours around, like, let's say, a lot of people start getting ready to go out, they're pre-gaming, whatever, it's like 8, 9 o'clock. If you can just get through that, and then it's like, you'll maybe turn in the back of your head, you'll be like, all right, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. They're probably having so much fun right now. But if you can just get through that, when you wake up the next day and start thinking about, damn, everybody feels like shit right now. I got up, I did a workout, I'm being productive. Like, that's what I would cling on to, is just getting through those moments day after. It's a day at a time. It's always a day at a time.
Zach, I have my triathlon team in Key Biscayne, and we started at 4 a.m. So imagine being in Miami at 4 a.m. and I'm sober to start the day. Those fuckers were like they didn't even, and I'm like, holy shit, this was me. It was truly me.
Yeah.
At 4 a.m. I was still hitting like where I want to go. And here I'm just getting ready to run, swim, or bike, or just do something healthy. And the feeling I had about me that was giving me a lot of like confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to, program myself. How long do you think it takes to, because you go through identity crisis, right? When you're quitting, when you're starting your life, how long usually it takes, like, from my experience, from the guys you're talking about, like you talking to, and to change your identity?
So I would say within the first month, is about how long it takes just to like completely rebuild, your new habits, because you're starting to get used to them, right? It's like it's a struggle at first. Also, I'm a big realist. Like, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to lose friends. You're going to have to you're going to have to kill off the old version of yourself. There's some people that you just need to cut communication with. Because a big thing too is you need to think about it like this, is like, the best way to analyze it is this person where I want to be? If it's not, then like, who cares what their opinion is? Who cares about all that stuff? But so I would say it takes like a good month to like really dial it in to where the habits start taking second nature, right? Now I would say, now if you want to talk about a complete life transformation where these are non-negotiables, it's instilled in your blood, I would say anywhere from 6 months to a year. But the thing is, anybody should be able
I
to
will
just
disagree on that, but that's okay.
What do you think it is?
I would say 3 years.
3 years? Okay.
That's from my opinion.
Yeah.
I think in 6 months to a year, you have a new habits, new routines, and you kind of like a changing identity, but you are actually, because like right now I can't even imagine like after a year, 2 years, I was like, shit. I went, like I'll give you an example. I have not been drinking for over 2 years, right?
Yeah.
It was like 2-3 years ago. And I'm like, I can't go back to drinking. I can't, like, no, truly.
You're like, I literally can't.
I can go back to drinking, and I start down and like, I don't have a problem anymore. You know, the fucking devil stop fucking with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have a new habits, I have new routines, I have new bubble, I have a new surroundings. And then I went and I went to ayahuasca. You know, just trying to figure out, you know, ayahuasca is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have ayahuasca treatment. And I get out of it completely. I went with completely different intentions. I got out of it. Motherfucker, I never touched this shit again in my life. You know what I mean? Like never, ever. And then suddenly after 3 years, but I'm talking, everybody's different. I'm talking about mine. That's why I say 3 years.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then after like, I was like, came the moral hangover. Like, I can't believe it. I waste this much time. You know, suddenly, like, I'm going on vacation. I was going on vacation to get shit-faced. Dude, like, I'm going on vacation. Like, I'm never enjoy. I was going to those amazing places. And instead of look at all the new shit, like, you know, spending $500,000 on a yacht for freaking a week. Instead of enjoying all this shit, I was looking for the bars or waiting for the hostess to, instead of a coffee, give me a fucking beer.
Yeah.
And I was excited, you know, because I'm sitting like right this, and then, you know, they're bringing my beer is empty. They putting a new one. Now this is the shit.
Oh,
man.
yeah, right.
What the fuck? Delusional.
Yeah.
But that was my life.
I agree with that, because when I was bartending, that was how I made the most money, was I would refill people's stuff before they even asked for it if I knew that there was and they thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Because we were alcoholics. Yeah. So it's like, dude, like when I have when I start drinking, when I have a drink, for some reason it was like the first like half that it was like going like slowly. The second got like under half, it was like, holy shit, like I need another one. Like I'm waiting without the bartender is not busy. And suddenly I have only one sip. Oh, it's already empty. Shit. So it's that's why like we know what we needed. So that's why people love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's like I know exactly what you're thinking.
Just so you know, if you're listening right now, we want you to drink our Kool-Aid of not drinking.
Yeah.
Because we know how it feels not to drink.
That is a perfect way to put it. Seriously, yes. That is it. And that's like, dude, tying back into what I was talking about when I was in like meetings and stuff, right? I didn't feel that life. I didn't feel like that they were excited to be sober. And that's genuinely what I'm trying to show, is like how exciting and just amazing it is to be sober. It's just a different lifestyle. And like that's what I was missing, was like, okay, I understand the steps and I understand all these things, but I'm looking at you guys don't seem like you're not healthy. It doesn't look like you're happy. So I'm like, what am I really like doing this for? And that's like my main purpose, to show you how exciting and how successful and just how amazing it can be to be sober. That's genuinely what it is. And it's just like, I don't feel like there was enough people, and it's, you know, they either just don't hire the right staff, or there's just nobody happy in those places. And
so how do you find the spark in other people? Because you got to kind of like lighten up the light.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, you know, with the communities being this large, it's like you're seeing people of all walks of life. I mean, there's people in there that got sober yesterday. There's people in there that got sober 20 years ago, you know, and you can have so many different ventures of business and hobbies. And I mean, there's even like sub channels that go down. You can talk to people that specifically were addicted to what you were, but you can also, you know, people that want to learn how to cook, people that want to learn how to like join on podcasts. People, there's so many different things that they can be like, oh, that's interesting me before. Or like, I'm into photography, I want to be an author. There's so many different people to connect with and to really dive into it. And then like jumping into the third step, like I have calls every Saturday with people that work with me, right? And we do group calls. We can even make it into smaller groups and just overall life planning. Like I want to help you. Like, all right, let's say you want to be an author. What do the steps look like? Where do we need to start? Where do we need to, I'm not an author. So it's like, I'm going to go to my network, my reach and be like, hey, I have this person that I want to help. And so it's like I've spent this whole year and so much money just trying to make sure that, you know, the resources to, yes, help myself as well. But like, you know, not only that, but now that they're there, what is like God so to me? I need to give back because I didn't have all that. And that's what I'm trying to build is something that's just so big and so powerful that it's like you have access to so many things to where no matter what, like it's, I don't like to use the word impossible, but like it's almost impossible to fail because that's what I was missing. I was missing the community. I was missing the life planning. I was missing mentorship. The world that I was around was such a victim mindset that like mentorship was viewed as something as a scam that people were just doing on the internet, right? Oh, buy the course, do this, whatever. And yes, there's good and bad eggs with everybody. Mentorship, I think, is one of the most important things now. Once I woke up and tried it out, and you know, if you find good mentors, it is the most important thing because why do I want to spend all the money, the time? You know, you want to work hard, you want to do everything yourself, but like at the same time, like you need to learn. There's people that have been in your shoes that have already done it. Like how we're talking about, you know, we've gone through all the cycles of addiction. You know, we beat it, and now you know it is a day-by-day process. But it's like, look what we're doing with it. Why don't you want to talk to those people? You know what I mean? They can relate to everything that you're feeling right now. And so, and that's what I mean is I want to build, like, I want to have it to where no matter what you're interested in or what your walk of life is, like it's there, like you've got it. And that's what's exciting is the amount of people that I've met this year. You know, the trip started going on, even like being here right now with you. Like it's so exciting to be present and just talking with somebody, you know, no phones, no like, you know, like really using my brain and being like, this is awesome because, you know, everybody has so much to learn from each other. Everybody came from so many different walks of life and like being present is so important, you know, instead of just numbing it out. But, like even just because you never really know where life's going to take you. You really don't, you know, doors are presented in front of you. And, I've started this thing this year where I just, you know, say yes, I jump through them. You never know what's going to come of it. The opportunities are there. God puts them in front of you. All you do is say yes, just jump through it because your brain does, in like a neuroscience way, try to trick you. It tries to keep you comfortable, right? When something's like nerve wracking and it's like, oh shoot, you start feeling anxiety. Your brain starts telling you, I don't know if we should do that. You know, it tries to hold you where you've been, but just fight that out. Just jump through them. And you just really don't know what's going to come from it. And then I feel like when you're rebuilding that new identity, like that's where the real confidence comes in. That's where you wake up and you're like, dang, like I really, you know, do this. I really go to the gym. I don't have to say like, oh yeah, I go to the gym sometimes. You know, it's not half-ass. It's like I really go to the gym. I really do eat clean. I feel good. I wake up excited. I do talk to cool, you know what I mean? Like very like smart people. Like I like being in a community. I don't know where we got to this point where talking to people that about these substanceless conversations was like so cool, you know, like because it's like we grow up learning. We're in school, you know, we're like, you know, we're learning. Why are we not still learning just because we're not in like the education system anymore? Why do you not want to learn? Why do you not want to grow? It doesn't make sense. And that's what that needs to be exciting, you know, being around exciting people. And so that's why I want to connect you with these communities that like, look how exciting these people's lives are. You know, whether it's, you know, you're talking about
we
on
need to be
$500,000
part
yacht.
of
like,
something.
yeah, we love community. I mean, we love connection.
Seriously, like
Yeah.
we need to. That's why it's like when you hide. Like I'm keep saying that the biggest drag right now is isolation.
Mm-hmm.
That shit, it's bigger than drugs, bigger than alcohol, bigger than food. You know, gambling. This is a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
We're not born to be alone.
Yeah.
And when we sedate, we are not alone. We think that we're connecting with people, but we're not connecting. We are still alone. We're lonely.
Very.
You know what I mean? Even though, because it's like, hey, if we're drinking, we're getting shit-faced, hey, we got something to talk about. And then guess what? The next morning, hey, remember how we got drunk? You know, for
yeah, that's
years.
the first thing they say.
For
remember
years.
last night?
All my fucking stories were starting like, remember how we got drunk? That's truly, hey, remember how we got drunk in Colorado? Hey, remember how we got drunk in Poland? Remember how we got drunk in Miami? Remember how we got drunk in Texas? Like every story started how we got drunk, which bar. And that's how we relate to each other.
Yeah.
So but we need to, especially when you're going and you want to just quit, you're sick of it. I think like you said, build like, and it's funny, build community even yourself, then join communities, as many as possible.
Yeah.
And that is like the access right now is so easy. Like if I didn't have my brotherhood, brother, I would not be here.
Agreed.
When I was going through like depressions and I almost committed suicide, and I was sober, I can tell you, if it wasn't for my brothers, I wouldn't be here. Always somebody came, always somebody stayed with me. They want to make sure I'm not alone. You know what I mean? And they were just kind of like taking shifts. I could not build this alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was embarrassed to share it. When I was drinking, then like I got drunk once and like, I'm sick of it. This was one of the hundreds.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
We go through a lot of
You know what I mean? But this time I go like, you know what? I'm going to tell my friends that I'm sick of it, that it's like, So what happened is I run. They were calling my name, right? I was flying. I know the airlines. I remember where we were flying from. And I went to the bar and put it like a two double, whatever, something like gin and tonic or something. And I really chug them, right? So by the time we take off, they're gonna serve the alcohol, so I'll have enough in my system. And I'm like, what the fuck was this shit? Like, this is ridiculous, right? Like, I have a serious problem, like serious problem. Like, I'm preparing myself to board the plane because for half an hour, then I'm gonna serve alcohol. And I'm in the fucking first class, so I'm gonna be the first one. The second we take off, they're gonna say, what do you want to drink, right?
It's poison. It consumes your mind. I mean, that's what I was trying to say is like, look at how you analyze that situation, right? Like, look at how you decided, well, hold on, all right, those 30 minutes, I'm not going to be able to drink, so that means I need to prepare, I need to do that now. Those are the habits.
All the time it was, but that's your internal world.
Yeah.
That's the only thing was important to me. Can you imagine these fucking priorities? So then I got on the plane, I'm like, done. So what happened is the quadruple drink, the two doubles that didn't kick in. So I started taking off, and I said, to like 7 friends, to my coaches, like 3 of my coaches, and 4 of my closest friends. Dude, I have a problem. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm making you accountable for me to stop drinking. And I passed out. I'm waking up, we're landing, I'm waking up, turning my, the airplane mode off. Fuck, like what the fuck did I do? Like, I told all my friends that I have a drinking problem. It's like, holy shit. Like, I regret this. And it's like, yeah, like, let's talk. This is like, no, I just got drunk. Because I tried to get out of it. But it was too late.
Yeah.
But it was like one of the steps that I started.
It's a very important step,
because then what happened is, if anybody's listening right now, then I was hiding.
Yeah.
So in front of those friends that I said, I'm going to drink, I'm going to stop. Okay, we're stopping. So after 2-3 months when I stopped and I started drinking again, guess what I did? I hide from them. Dude, like the journey is like...
Do you ever talk about also like how destructive it is to other people?
Oh, brother.
I mean, that's a whole world of its own. Like, and the crazy part is the person that's doing the damage usually doesn't notice.
And the problem that you don't listen.
Yeah.
You think the bitches are like, I mean, dude, I'm on 10 marriage, so that tells you, right?
Dude, yeah.
But it's not only that, your family, your kids, I have 5 kids. I never drank in front of my kids. Never. Even like when I hit the worst part. So what happened? Like, I was like, you remember me drinking? It's like, they remember me drinking and never saw me drunk. So I was like getting like shit faced like later at night.
Yeah.
Or I was like, let's say in the man cave, so nobody knows.
Yeah.
Right? But the damage we do, it stays forever. But what happens is we got to forgive ourselves.
Yeah.
And nobody could talk me out of it. You know what I mean? Nobody.
Yeah.
My family, my friends, my wife. Well, you a bitch.
Yeah.
Let me drink. You know what I mean? I got under control. But like I said about this plane, like, look at how much occupied, like how to do it, when to do it, all this stuff. The same thing with them, how we hide it, how do we do it, so friends don't see it, so kids don't see it, and now I have to deal with him, his smell, his tomorrow hangover, and then he's gonna be miserable, he's not gonna be present, you know, tomorrow I have a big day. I'm talking about partners. Tomorrow I have a big day. Then he's not gonna be there. It's like, dude, like.
And then it's hard on them too, because it's like, you know, let's say it is an outspoken thing. You know, they're trying to help you and stuff, and it's just like they're thinking about it constantly. I mean, you can't even leave the, you know, let's say you go get in the car, you got to go do something. I mean, they're probably thinking like, where's he at? What's gonna happen? Like, oh gosh, like, you know what I mean? It tears them. It's all they can focus on. They can't even focus on their own lives because they're so worried. Like, what's gonna happen? You know, what's gonna happen with Zach? Like, where did he go? Is he really like going to just the grocery store? Like, what's going on? And that's like kind of what I wanted to bring up, is that a lot of, you know, like the damage that we do is like, yes, it's on ourselves when we have that, but it's like, you know, I've already been divorced. I, you know, have a kid that I don't see anymore. I have, you know, 2 kids that got aborted because you know, my partner didn't trust me to take care of them because I was so reckless and drunk all the time. You know, I've gone through times where I've had my car totaled, I got evicted, and I lost my job in the same week. You know, there's just so much destruction that's going on, but it's just, and you're sitting there thinking like, oh, I'll figure it out. But like, the drinking's not the problem. I just probably shouldn't have done this, you know, but like whatever. But that's what I mean, is the victim mindset sat with me for so long to where like finally when I was like, enough is enough, I was like, what if I just took accountability for everything? Like, I thought about it. I remember thinking, I was like, what if I just, even now, I can't even go in. Like, let's say the other day when I was getting a haircut, I showed up, I was 5 minutes late. Well, whenever the next appointment was coming in, I was still getting my haircut done. The second he walked in, I was like, oh, that's because of me. I was like, hey, sorry, I was late. I didn't have to tell him that. But I was just reframing my brain to like, what if everything is my fault?
It is.
Yeah. And it's like, if I do that, I can take accountability. I can solve the problems. I can use all that problem solving. Like, oh, I've only got 30 minutes. You know, I got to drink before then. I can use it for good. It's like.
For good. Exactly. That's for how to manipulate how many drinks I can fucking pour in. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's, I'll be honest, this is more peaceful and more free than I've ever felt, even though everything's all my fault, because I can fix it though. Like I can, you know, and that's another big thing too, is like when I was saying one of my biggest triggers used to be when I was alone. Now it's like one of the most peaceful things, but it's also because if you know, you're building new principles. I was such a liar too. Whenever I was drinking all the time, such a liar. Now I'm like, what if I just told the truth all the time? You know what? If I hurt somebody's feelings, like, at least I told the truth. And it's like, I don't have that guilt anymore. So now I'm more confident, but now I'm just peace. Like when I sit down and by myself, I'm like, I did all the habits and the discipline and everything I needed to do today. I didn't lie to anybody. I was a good person. Maybe I did something good that day. Like you can't sit there in your own thoughts and like hate on yourself if you're doing the right thing all the time. You know, so it's if I take accountability and I do the right thing all the time, like how can you hate yourself?
And then you start loving yourself. And when you start loving yourself, the world looks a lot better. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, the people, you're connecting with people, you know, the women looks better, the partner looks better, the kids behave better, you know, even like everything else around, it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
But it starts from within.
And even
because you build the trust.
Yeah.
And then suddenly even the businesses open up because suddenly you trust other people because now you're trustworthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're trustworthy within. Mm-hmm. Because you trust like yourself. So what happened is suddenly you trust outside as well. Before you were not.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where one of the relationships I was in, I thought she was lying all the time, but it was because I was guilty that I was lying all the time. So anything
because you were lying all the time to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You were not lying. You were actually lying.
Yeah. And so I was trying to poke holes. It would be a simple story like, you know, oh, I'm going to go to the store and then I have to go pick up my dog and like do this or whatever. But I'm sitting there like, well, hold on, it's been this long, but wait, this is the store's like, you're trying to find something wrong, but it's because I was lying all the time. So I'm trying to find the lie, but it's like, it was me. I was lying to myself. I was lying.
Yeah, I really, truly right now had an aha moment. I never thought of this the way, but that's exactly.
It's guilty conscience.
I have the guilty conscience and I was constantly looking for that it's not only me and I'm looking for what I do in other people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
desperately grabbing at it.
Yeah. You know, it was funny. Like my friend is coming. He's like, hey, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes, right? So I'm like, shit. Yeah, so I'm preparing the beer or like the drink, right? I'm pouring the drink. I'm like, motherfucker, did you stop up in the bar? You're supposed to come to me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm coming to you. Like, why would I want to go to the bar if I'm going to you? Do you know what I mean? And it was like, but you said 10 minutes and it's like 27 minutes. I already drinking. I already finished my drink. I already drinking your drink.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's what I was looking. So I have like, I mean, by the way, I'm still working on the patience, but I was on patience and the second thing doesn't how it work in my head, I immediately assume that people are lying or doing something else, or it's like, oh shit, oh, he went to the bar with him, because I was like, he was supposed to come to my house, and then he went to his house because it's closer. Dude, Yarek, it's freaking traffic, dude. I'm in Uber. I'm coming, man.
It's really that simple. Yeah,
dude, I never even thought of that.
Yeah, we just assume and that's what I was playing at with when you were saying, oh, I don't want to trust this business partner, whatever. But it's because you don't trust yourself. You're not so you're finding the holes or just making them up. These delusions in your head that there's a problem with what everybody's doing, and it's because you're the problem. Like you're so self-destructive and doing so many negative habits all the time that you're trying to find anybody else to have one. So you're like, oh, look, they do it too. Like, you know what I mean? Like the whole misery loves company kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I'm not that bad. He got DUI. I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I'm not that bad. He was drinking on Wednesday and he was drinking hard liquor. And I only had 2 beers, even though it's like, I love it. It's like, so how many beers did you have for non-drinkers, right? Oh, I have 2. And inside 7. Do you know what I mean? So even the numbers, I was freaking lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even to myself.
Yeah.
It's like I woke up, it's like, okay, today I'm gonna have 4 beers, because I have to do this tomorrow morning, And then 4 beers and then I'm drinking, right? I'm on the 4th one. Wow, but those are like the 0.33, but I always drink the half a liter. So I start calculating 333. Oh shit, that's 1.2. So that's a 1.5. So I can have another 6 beers. What the fuck? Like whoever drinks and know exactly what somebody who doesn't drink is like, what do you think? You cannot relate to this shit, but it's just the lies and the lies. It's just going on vacation, getting on the cruise line, the first going through where are all the bars, what time they open, like figured out the whole. It's just the energy versus where's the gym? Like, I would not book hotel that doesn't have a 24/7 gym. Yeah. It's like, dude, before I would not book the hotel if it doesn't have a 24/7 bar.
It's crazy, man. I mean, that's probably what, that's why they say, like, you can't love somebody else until you love yourself, because it's impossible. And it's just
my message.
Just such a twisted mindset. It's crazy. And that's just truly what I'm trying to do is just, show people that when you're getting sober, you're not giving something up, you're gaining everything back. Because think about it, when you were growing up, it's like, that's why I was related to when I was a kid. Like that was the last time that I felt like I was on top of the world and I had the power of manifestation and, whatever, it's what you're looking for, you're going to find. And like, you can do big things if you let your brain go there. Mm-hmm. But it's just, it wasn't the traditional recovery methods to me. It wasn't exciting. And so I had to find my own path. But that's one thing too, is I won't change, I wouldn't change anything because a lot of my traumas and experiences, did build me into who I am. But that's why I feel like I have this important calling to do something like this because I can relate to people. You know what I mean? Like if I was, if I was drunk and I was going to hire, if I was trying to get sober and I was going to hire somebody and I was like, I want them to be my coach too and stuff, like I wouldn't want it to be somebody that just some regular coach that hasn't been through what I'm talking about, And so that's why I was like, I can use this relatability to help people because I was putting myself in their shoes. Like, I don't want just some random trainer that doesn't know because I'm going to have moments where like, everybody wants to talk to their coach, like usually, or their mentor, or their, what I mean? You want to run it by them because, they've been in your shoes before. And it's like, if it's just some random trainer at LA Fitness or something, like they're not going to know what you're talking about. They don't know. It's something like truly you only know if you were deep in addiction. Like there's the level of despair that goes on and emptiness. Like you can only know that if you really went through it.
So it's like you have like 2 sentences on the end of the podcast. You have like 2 sentences or 3. Somebody who's struggling, somebody who is considering or is just starting the journey. What would be like, I know there's no shortcuts in life. Come on. Yeah. We know that. Every shortcut there is then you gotta go fucking around. That's you know what I mean? But what would be like the best guidance that in
the best guidance, like I said, I'm big on framing, just reshaping the mind and habits, but you need to learn, you need to become, so I'm a realist. I think this is what helped me a lot is I just became very, very realistic. It's going to be very hard. You need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You need to, let your brain go there. And it's just like realize things like pressure makes diamonds. That's what I always like saying. Like when you're under pressure, you need to be able to sit with your thoughts. Like don't run from them. That's why I like to talk it out. Just like it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. Just reach out, like, you know, digest it, learn, like, figure out, like, all right, I'm feeling like this, like, slow it down, just slow down. You know, it doesn't have to be like, you know, a quick grab to like try and fix something or substitute. Just slow down, accept what you're feeling is okay, and just be like, all right, let's think rationally, like, how can I fix this? And also too, like, don't give up on yourself. Just because, you know, oh, I tried the rehab, I tried I tried something. Just like, you know, go look, there's other stuff out there. That's why, you know, I'm trying to build what I'm building is like, there's other resources out there that'll work for you. So, you know, rehab might work for some, but try out all the possibilities. Don't quit on yourself. And also a big thing is like, you need to invest in yourself, believe in yourself, you know, and so just rebuild those habits. And I promise the confidence will come. Like it'll come if you're doing truly, you wake up and you do what you're supposed to do every day, you know, and you commit, just make a commitment to yourself. Like do it. Say, no, I need to do this. I need to go to the gym. I need to eat like this. I need to, you know, I need to be honest with my partner. I need to, all those things that seem very, very small, you know, they stack up. I'm big on momentum. Like everybody's searching for motivation. Motivation doesn't last. Yes, the discipline is great, but momentum, like once you got it, the small, you know, that one small win turns into another one. Get up, walk, go make some sunshine. All right, cool. We got back. Now you're like, oh, awesome. You know, like now, oh, what if I eat a good meal? That turns into 10 good meals. You know, what if I go to the gym one time? Just go do it and try to just stack the wins, the small wins. I try to wake up every day with a small win. Just like, what can I do? You know, I can journal, I can pray, I can, you know, this, whatever it is, just wake up, hit a small win, and the momentum, carry the momentum. Don't let it fizzle.
I always say it's like, oh, don't start big, start small.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
It's a day at a time.
It's like, you know, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It just do 30 seconds prayer, do 1 minute meditation. Well, I don't know how to meditate. Well, do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go to the gym, do this. Like, you know, it's like, hey, you know, you eat like breakfast at this time, eat the breakfast 20 minutes or 30 minutes later, and cut the less dinner, you know, 30 minutes earlier, cut the window. And it's just those little things. And I love in everything what you said, what I love, because this is not only of adjusting your life to addiction, but in everything else you do, in work, or business, raising, you know, with the kids, with the partner, with anything. It's a exactly same principle.
Yeah. So that's
all of it. Like, you
That's
know,
what I learned,
you know, comfortable, uncomfortable, you know, compound effect, you know, just let the fucking train go. It takes so much energy to go. And the second you do it, it just like, it's easier and faster and more. And it's suddenly like, you're cruising, you know what I mean? But it's just, the beginning is just to start.
Yeah.
And to start today. The same thing I do with investing. It's like, dude, don't talk to me like, oh, I'm going to wait when the market's going to be better. Dude, you've been talking the same shit for 20 years. I've been quitting drinking for 10 years. You know what I mean? That's the same thing. It's like, you know, oh, I'm going to have kids when I do this. No, we
Just
never
take
ready.
action. Figure it
And
out
we
as you
never
go.
ready to quit. We never ready to start. It's just, but it's at some point it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You
And
know
that's a big thing that I say is I started noticing the more and more buckets that got filled. It was like, that's why I like to just, let's focus on one thing at a time, right? And my thing was fitness. So I focused there and I thought, this is, you know, the stuff I'm learning here has to do something. It has to carry over. All of a sudden, I was more disciplined at work. I was at a sales job. I started making more money. All of a sudden, you know, I was sticking to my schedule at work a lot better. But then all of a sudden that started spilling over. And it was every time I said I was going to do something with a, you know, a friendship or whatever it is, like, hey, I'll be here or I'll do this. Like, then it started going. And all of a sudden, you know, and then I was more honest. And it just started carrying over into all these different walks of life where I was like, wow, these same principles can really be applied anywhere.
And your bubble is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start to suddenly get invited. The people that really truly want to be with you,
yes,
and the relationship are not being transactional; they are truly genuine. Because I think then also when you're not drinking, you're not lying to yourself, and you're not cheating yourself. You're also truly authentic, and people love that.
You can feel it.
You know, because you operate on different frequency, you have different energy versus having the energy of the guilt and shame. You have the energy of movement, of power, of giving, and the whole life changes.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, imagine if, you know, you let go of that part, like that, you know, that's always in the back of your head where you're all your self-doubt and you're just eating yourself alive. Like, imagine if you let that go and it's just all, you know, you had all good energy all the time. Like, imagine, you know, people can see that. And it's like, because it's, you know, you have this fake confidence when you're drunk all the time and stuff, but it only can go to like a certain level because you're always in the back of your head eating yourself up. Like, did that story land? Was it because, like, you know, did they like
and
what
the
I said?
story always
Did they
ends the
like what I
same way,
said?
man.
Yeah.
Same way, you know, wake up in the morning, it's like, holy shit. You're like,
Mhm.
and it goes again and again. Brother Zach, tell people we're going to put the link. Where can we find you, follow you, tell
Yeah. So on Instagram, it's going to be at Straughnzyy. So my last name, Straughn, and then Zyy. All there you can find everything as far as content for Straughnzyy Point, which is this tipping point. You know, we're going to take small things, build them into huge things. You know, where you can apply on there everything you need to know, as well as, you know, we have an app coming, we have a website, all that good stuff loading up. But Instagram is definitely 100% the best place to find me. Always get back to you, you know, even if you just want to chat, talk about, hey, I'm going through this problem. Like, what do you think? It's 100% the best way to reach me.
Thank you. Guys, you know what? You'll like us, subscribe it, you know, share it if you like that or not, but you will love it. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
That was good, brother.
Yeah.
It was good.
A great time talking to you.
I love
it.